battle control.
Alright, so welcome back to this duel between Yellow and TaylorSwift in the best of 3. This time Yellow is starting to the left, moving his MCV forward, moving his MCV as he always tend to do. TaylorSwift staying behind, and wow, this best of 3 is great, really good games, and I expect no less from this game. Alright, this is text as a spectator. Don't do shit. 1,200 okay, I didn't follow the chat right there. That's fine. Okay, I have a lot of spectators actually, and NoobMapMaker and Anal Warrior 4000, and so this game is followed by a lot of players live. Oh, wow, yeah, people are really enjoying this game as well. That's great to see. It's going to be fun to release this on the tubes as well. So yep, scouting as well. Oh, this time Yellow, no, that's Yellow's infantry is going to scout the area behind his base to be safe from any attacks, sneak attacks coming from TaylorSwift. TaylorSwift now has met Yellow with some very clever, very creative tactics, and I would guess he too wants to be a little bit careful to scout a little bit more around to anticipate some sneak attacks. So let's see, like TaylorSwift is going to be a second ore refinery or a ore factory. Okay, so I guess I'm not sure. I don't think TaylorSwift can see that beacon. I think that is for the what? The spectators? Well, they're really having a good time here in the chat. So Yellow is building his 2 ore refinery. Is now going to put, yeah, of course, that's a beacon. That's what the beacon meant. He's going to move his MCV back and take control of his backyard. TaylorSwift building his ore factory first, going to pump out ore trucks. My favorite strategy anyways, and it's going to stay in this area, most likely build a second ore refinery right there. And Yellow is this a third ore harvester and ore refinery coming out? I think so. But I'm not sure about this strategy because you can afford to have plenty of ore trucks at one patch, at least in the initial stage of the game, because the ore patches are so huge, so that you can't just build your ore factory and start to get them working on the same ore patch until you get the other positions. So that's that. Here is the infamous grenade force for Yellow. Is going to go behind again, and this time actually doing something new. He's actually going to the front with the infantry and distracts TaylorSwift. Yes, he's going to build a flamethrower, losing all his infantry, but there's no flamethrower ready to stop this grenadier force. He's going to lose this power plant again. It's going for the ore refinery, and he might get it. He might actually, yeah, he's going to get it. Let's split up his forces. Yes, he's going to get it. This is good. This is really good, because now... you know what, I take that back. It does not impact the game too much. Of course, there's just one ore refinery, so these ore trucks are going to have to stand in line to get in there and deliver their ore. So that's fine. But other than that, limited effect, I should say. Ore factory after the third ore refinery for Yellow. He's going to... Yep, going to build up his mass ore trucks. Of course, if you do plan to do a early attack, then strategy does tend to favor the early second or possibly third ore refinery, because you do need the funds early to do such an attack. And a ore refiner, of course, does take quicker to build, and you do get an ore truck right away. Whilst building a ore factory, you have to build that, which take a long time, and then start your ore truck production. So that's why you see some players tend to build a ore refiner. But if you plan to go for the long game, a ore factory first is the correct build. So second attack here coming from Yellow is going to go straight to the front. And this time with some rocket soldiers, and this... Oh, if you could just squish this initial force, that would be huge as well. But it's going to get some damage done. It's going to take out this airfield without problem. It's going to be stopped with a flamethrower quickly, and it does not want to lose that radar dome. It's going to be lost. It's going to be lost, and that's terrible for TaylorSwift. Oh, I did not see this flamethrower. Wow, Yellow is really on the attack this game. He's really doing these creative attacks, and it works out well for him now that he lost his radar dome. Yeah, he's still going to destroy a lot of units from TaylorSwift. I believe this is going to be stopped eventually, but a lot of damage has been done, and the initial tech loss from building all the ore harvesters and ore refinery is being taken back. Yellow is doing very well here. See, now it's TaylorSwift has been reset. He does still have his ore harvesters numbers, so he can. It's not over by any means, but Yellow with a definite lead here in the early game. Only 6 minutes played. It's very nice. He has like 5-6 ore harvesters, so his ore harvesters are equal to that of TaylorSwift's. TaylorSwift has built a service depot and might possibly go just straight to heavy tanks. Could be a very good strategy now that his options are limited, and I do not think that Yellow's he does not know about the service depot. So a good strategy would be to just pump out heavy tanks, maybe like 4 or 5, and just keep them hidden and do some sort of attacks. A sneak attack behind, that could be a good way. Of course, he does not know. I don't think he has scouted a lot. No, not at all. So he does have no idea where Yellow are. So that's kind of a problem for him. He's going to build a second MCV instead, which he's going to build it right here and establish himself in front. But that will solidify Yellow's lead for sure, because he is going to just keep taking up, getting his yaks now, and not likely to. You know what? Excuse me. For a moment I did not realize that TaylorSwift was playing as Soviet as well. I apologize for that. But yes, yeah, because I was completely disturbed here. I was thinking, okay, now Yellow can build a service depot and build heavy tanks himself. So well, now that's confusion is done. With the early radar dome of Yellow, he is actually going to go forward with his V2 rocket, and again it's going to take out the radar dome of TaylorSwift. Oof. Wow, Yellow really on the offensive here. He's going to, most likely lose this ore refinery as well if he can focus it down, but he will instead back off a little bit to possibly take down both heavy tanks here. That's terrible for TaylorSwift. TaylorSwift really being pushed, and more V2 rockets coming up to possibly take down this ore refinery once and for all. And with that goes the final, with the final structure of TaylorSwift. Yes, he's going to lose his V2 rockets, but who cares? He took down the final ore refinery of TaylorSwift. Oh, okay, very good. He built his second one straight away. Had it queued up, luckily for him, or else this game would definitely be over. Wow, some really action-packed games these games are. It's possibly the best 1 versus 1 series I have ever seen. If only our tournament would look like this every game, we could have some really great tournaments, man. So Yellow's going to just keep on pressuring with yaks, going to lose 1 yak, and he's going to at least get a good scout of what his opponent is doing. He possibly saw the other MCV going here. Yeah, he did. I did not pay attention. He did build another MCV earlier and lost it. So the second MCV is going to establish a front here. Here's his 3rd radar dome for the game. But Yellow has not built a tech center. So still, this game is sort of still like 50-50. Well, I should not say 50-50, but still, I mean, it still has a good chance of winning. But this Jackson coming from behind, are they going to take down this Radiodome again? That would be crazy. Oh, okay, it's going to take down power plants. Going to take down both his power plants. This is huge for him, of course. With this single power plant, is going to be struggling to produce buildings. Oh, it's 1 versus 1, but it's hard to keep up. It's so much action going on. Yellow has not opted to go into the middle and contest for that. So that may be something that comes into play in the late game if TaylorSwift can retain this. Can keep himself in the game. Still no sex center for either player. Okay, so as you can see here, it seems to sort of stabilize. Wonder if Yellow can actually see that. No, he does not see that TaylorSwift has established himself in the front. Of course, he does see the construction yard, so he should anticipate that. Now we have the axe from both players going in. Wonder if we're going to see more suicide gags. They are so fun to watch. Of course, if you can see rocket soldiers clumped up like this, just if you can aim properly, if you have like your react around here and you see this, you just click your it's right in the middle where there are no infantry. Yeah, you can just aim and try to get into the chunk of infantry. What a match, says Anal Warrior 4000, and he's completely right. This match is off the hook. I have not seen. Oh, there comes the tech center for Yellow. Can't remember seeing games like this in a long time. Really, this is excellent to see. Also, happy Easter to everyone watching. This is the 2nd of April. 2nd of April. And 1st of April is over. Thank God for that. I hate the 1st of April. You cannot read the news, you cannot watch anything happening because you can't trust anything. And so this 2nd of April, we have the best game of OpenRA that I can remember. The best of 3 at least. Whoa! Actually retains the construction yard. Very great. Very, very important for TaylorSwift. He cannot afford any more loss in this game at all. Jesus. Okay, so we will see a bomb coming up for Yellow here in a second. I would guess. The power drops is not going forth. Also a tech center for TaylorSwift, but I would guess that his A-bomb is going to be behind Yellow's. It has completed, so it remains to see if this is a bomb or a what do you call it? Iron curtain. Well, it has been built. Where has it been built? Was I wrong? It might have been a SAM site or something. Okay, I cannot. Excuse me if I can't keep up with this game. There's so much happening. Okay, so 2 big armies now contesting for the middle. Should not see a confrontation this early in the game. They both should be aware of each other having a sort of army at this moment. Excuse me, I just sort of baffled. I'm trying to get a handle on this game. Okay, so the Iron Curtain was built first. Could not locate it. Anyway, he's going to send it that first, of course, to take the worst hits. And the remaining of his army is going to try the front, but he's going to pull back, seeing that TaylorSwift does have an army himself. Very strongly so, and they're very similar. Managed to take down the Tesla coil. Well done. Nice. Yes, Anal Warrior 4000 wants to go to the store to buy cookies, but he can't now because this game is too good. Watch the replay later. Yeah, indeed, everyone should watch this replay. And you know what? I'm going to have to link to the forum for this specific replay, so you can download it, because I mean, just watching this game for yourself, you can learn a lot. Whoa! Wow, a lovely yak hit there. You can watch this game for yourself, and you can learn a lot just from this game alone. The strategies, different strategies for each game as well. So yeah, very, very entertaining. Okay, so now becomes excuse me, a lot of barracks has been built up by Yellow, and this is something that I see players do not too often. Just getting your barracks are very cheap, because like $300, and then you just build, like, if you build like 7 of them, you can cut the production time of your infantry in half, and therefore, especially in late game, you want that big clump of infantry to surround your tanks and such, and they are very valuable in that game. That's what I love about this game. The tweaking that has been done to the original, that makes this infantry a very essential part of the game, and makes this so much more enjoyable to watch and play, of course. Tesla coil up for Yellow is going to establish himself here as well to start to get on the ore. Of course, as more and more of this area is taken out by each side, you can move forward and take control, so you do not want to wait too long to get your side of this middle part. So the A-bomb of Yellow has been ticking down now to 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and TaylorSwift does not have an A-bomb yet, has built his own iron curtain. So, and with this mammoth tank might go for a frontal assault. Might want to do that as well, since he has been behind during the game. Now it seems more equal, but if you can get Iron Curtain with these mammoth tanks and a couple of heavy tanks, he could go in here and do some damage, and even pull out without losing much of his army. Could be a good strategy. Neither player, neither player has going to into the oceans, but Yellow has built up a small fleet of missile submarines, and with the transport it's scouting if TaylorSwift has built his own. So these submarines is going to have free range of firing into the middle here, which is a great advantage. Was that a nuke in the crate? Oh, no, of course it was not. This must have been a demo truck. Oh wow, I wish I could just rewind there to see what happened. Which one was it though? I mean, it's... Oh man. I could guess it was Yellow's, and he just went in there to try to demolish some of TaylorSwift army, but it could go either way. I'm sorry I missed that. You can, of course, on the YouTube you can just go back and watch it for yourself perhaps, but I did not really get it myself. Oh, could actually take out 2 of these mammoth tanks if you just keep... Yeah, it's going to turn around now to possibly take down both of them. Oh, that's so... You cannot lose mammoth tanks. You cannot lose mammoth tanks. These mammoth tanks are the best. Did I lose this as well? I'm not paying attention here. But as I was saying, mammoth tanks are an exceptionally good late game unit, because they are, of course, they used to at least repair themselves, and of course you can easily pull them back once you see that you have lost too much of their HP. So you can't just build them more tanks and send them out like that. It's going to possibly lose another one here, and with this submarine fleet, he is going to have a good control on the middle. Of course, he did lose his own army, so the army count has been sort of equalized at this point. Iron Curtain his own V2 tank, V2 rocket, and didn't find any targets valuable. Okay, so now we have seen 2 of them trucks run into battle here. Whose was it? Well, in any case, we're going to see another nuke in 3 minutes and 20 seconds from Yellow. It's going to be on. Well, the good thing for TaylorSwift is he does have his buildings sort of spread out, so any damage he can come back from could possibly take down. You know, he can take down anything significant, and he can of course use his Iron Curtain to protect the most valuable buildings in such an attack. Okay, so that's about how things are. Or TaylorSwift could choose to, well, at least for now, because the Iron Curtain takes about 2-3 minutes to load up, spend his Iron Curtain ability on these mammoth tanks, which he will do, take down this Tesla coil, and might be able to do a lot of damage with this mammoth tank attack. Are these hijackers? Oh god, I cannot believe I'm going to see this. Oh, will he be able to take down one? Okay, take it down. Oh, he almost took one. Oh, I didn't take one. Oh, if you could take like 3 of these mammoth tanks, that would be crazy. That would be actually the first time I would see the hijacker in action. In at least such a high level game. Yak's going to try to do some damage to the mammoth tank. That's not going to work. This mammoth tank is going to stay alive for a long time. You actually have shock troopers here, Philo. Wow. Okay, 1 minute and 30 seconds for the nuke to launch. But as I said, this Iron Curtain, I'm not sure if it's going to complete before the nuke come down. I guess we're going to have to see about that. What a crazy game. This is absolutely crazy game. Now 5 submarines is going to be able to do some damage, but they can reach the ore refinery here, but other than that, TaylorSwift has not built any closer to this ocean, so it's going to be limited amount of use for these submarines, and they are very costly. This 5, I believe it's about 2004 or something, so this is like 10,000, more than 10,000 bucks worth of units. So if they cannot, ooh, very nice Iron Curtain by Yellow, protecting both his Tesla coils. It's going to destroy a little. It's going to destroy one of the mammoth tank, then they have to retreat. Very nice Iron Curtain there. But yeah, as I said, these submarines has a very limited range when all these buildings are such far behind the range of the submarines. Is this transport going to do anything? Oh, if we could see a movement of a demolition truck into the transport, just send her in here, because there's nothing here to really anticipate anything from the ocean. So I will see that. Ooh, look at this. Okay, let's see how much damage they do. They do not too much damage. Well, they did not hit correctly, but they do a limited amount of damage on heavy armor like this. Ooh, they should take out this Tesla coil immediately. Wow. Loses the second mammoth tank as well due to the fire of the submarines. But now it's going to go to work on this advanced power plant. Yellow does have plenty of power behind his base, so... Oh, God! I lost the nuke. But what he did lose was not that significant. Really. I mean, he does have War Factory. What did he lose, really? I think it was perhaps some troops. But not something very significant. I can't believe I'm missing everything today. But still, does still have his mammoth tank lead, and Yellow does not have his own army as of the moment. So well, with some sort of anti-air to stop these yaks, there's no way that Yellow can really attack into TaylorSwift at the moment. Where is this spy plane going to see? Okay, it's going to take a look at this. Okay, so let's have a look at what Yellow can see now. Of course, he's scouted this already, but he does see, well, a well-established base from TaylorSwift. TaylorSwift not building his own A-bomb for some reason, but still, TaylorSwift is not doing too bad. He is still harvesting from his own ore patches, and this is turning out to be sort of like a late game scrappy game, which can be fun but can be exhausting as well, and keeps building ore refineries to the front to take as much as this ore as possible. This Tesla coil is going to put a stop to that, of course. Okay, let's see what TaylorSwift can see. Of course, he has not scouted too much of his base. He does have some yaks behind here to go some scouting. He does see the Submarine built by Yellow, so we can anticipate some missile submarines there. There it goes. And does actually have some yaks there to patrol for that. It's going in with his infantry first to tank for some Tesla coil damage, and will possibly want to destroy at least this Tesla coil, because then he can go in. Ooh, misses with the Iron Curtain, I believe, and therefore it's going to be able to keep on moving. If you can just... that's too bad. The one Iron Curtain, the Mammoth tank, is not the one taking the damage, but still it's going to be able to take down this Tesla coil, and most likely this, but not before losing two of his Mammoth tank. What are you doing? And there goes the Hijacker into the Mammoth. Wow. Excuse me for not being so up to date with what's happening on the match, but there's a lot of new strategy being being utilized in this game. It's fantastic to see. You can see the Hijacker you can build from the barracks after, I believe, after the Sec Center, or perhaps before. Costs about 500, and of course you can go in and hijack, especially like ore harvesters are very popular to hijack, and as you saw now, if they don't kill before they enter the area around the Mammoth tank, will take over your opponent's Mammoth tank. Now, that's crazy, because that really is a problem now for TaylorSwift. The Mammoth tank count was most likely the thing that could do it for him, but now he has nothing, and Yellow, as you can see here, did use his transport to move his MCV over there to establish himself up very close to TaylorSwift's base, and now the front has been sort of scattered. TaylorSwift cannot protect his side over here now that Yellow has opened the front over here. Wow, crazy game. This I can't say it enough. This is the most this is the most action-filled best of 3 I have ever seen. Very good game. Okay, so of course TaylorSwift wants to take away this base as much as he can, but he can't. It's not only, of course, is the Tesla coils alive and protected, but of course he does have these missile submarines, which will crush anything that moves in too close. Even the Tesla coil is in range of his construction yard, so I guess that should be enough to take this game. Doesn't have too much aura himself, and but they still have this aura patch here, which is now has in control with his Tesla coils. TaylorSwift still struggling to try to stop this advance of Yellow. Still building Mammoth tanks as well, but he does not have much to build on anymore. His ore patches are low, and his front is sort of scattered. He can be flanked anywhere. It's nothing here, unfortunately. And this Yaks can come in here and just, I don't know, just have a stroll over his opponent's base. See, there's almost nothing here. Yeah, you can just almost crash into the ore refinery and take it out. Huh. Yeah, and with this, of course, the missile subs here, you can just go here and start to like fire randomly on different buildings. Going to go for the advanced power plant, I would guess. No, just going to keep going for the construction yard. And this is turning into a very low econ game as well. They are far in between the. There's a long distance between the ore refinery and the ore. For TaylorSwift. Not much to say here. Yeah, now Yellow's going to come in with a small group of V2 rockets. Take out the last, ore refinery to the middle front, and of course the south here is very much exposed. It's going to go in behind with an APC, and it should look like from TaylorSwift's point of view that this should have a lot of infantry in it, but it does not. It's going to keep retreating with this. Is this his last MCV? Yep, this is the last MCV, and of course he's going to gamble and try to push forward here again, because this is almost like the last point where he can get some resources, and collecting all his forces to protect this construction vehicle will produce another ore harvester when that time comes. But this should be too much. This should not be possible to win for TaylorSwift, unfortunately for him. I mean, what else can he do here? Got a couple of V2s. Could actually, yeah, he's going to take out the construction yard. But I'm not ready to eat my words yet. These missile submarines are going to just keep harassing and do some costly damage to TaylorSwift's base. Especially losing the radar dome is particularly bad. And yes. Oh, there goes his MCV, even though he built his second one up there. Oh my god, this is a scrappy game, a very scrappy game. Even Yellow could build a like a small infantry task force to go behind here and just do some strong damage. Ooh, a missile silo for TaylorSwift. I did not even realize that. I can't keep up this game at all. But in 40 seconds we do have a large launch from Yellow, so that should be the what do you say, the nail in the coffin? And we should see exactly where he does want to put that nuke. In a few more moments here. Ooh. I'm exhausted. It's such a good game though. This is so worth my time to just do some casting of these games. It's so much fun when you have good games like this. It really gives me the motivation to bother casting and putting these games out for others to see. Of course, I will make available a link so you can download this game yourself. This is definitely worth watching. It's going to be the tech center that will be taken out from TaylorSwift, and that will reset him. We will also lose the service depot, I believe. And no, not losing the service depot, but he does. He doesn't have anything left. Ooh, a small dispatch of paratroopers here. So I'm going to go down here and possibly take on the missile silo. But at this time, I expect TaylorSwift to GG at me. But of course, who can blame him for staying in the game when this is turned out to be such a good game, such a scrappy game, but a very good game, and you do not want to concede loss that easily. But of course, we can see that from our perspective, we see that TaylorSwift is in a huge disadvantage. Does not have his well, he could build the MCV out of the war factory as long as the service depot is alive, and establish himself, and the econ of Yellow is getting to a halt itself, but it does have too much going for me at the moment. Well, let's see now. Yes, 1, 2 construction yards and 2 MCVs. Just one, just in case something goes wrong with the other 3 MCVs. He has a backup MCV right there, just to make sure that he has control of the game. It's too funny. Oh, there's the MCV from TaylorSwift, not giving up by a long shot. Does have a orphan up here and lost this one down here, so what is he going to do? Yeah, here comes the nuke for TaylorSwift. It's going to take out the front, and with the Iron Curtain on the advanced power plant is not going to lose that one. You know, what the hell? You want to use your last nuke at least before you give up then? Yellow's going to protect the ore mine, which will produce ore for the remainder of the game. Yes, and with that control of the middle part, will have secured himself a surplus of resources. But here comes a small hit squad of rocket soldiers going to just take down wherever they can. Any building that is big taken down will be more or less lost forever. He's going to lose his missile silo now, and these ore trucks has nothing going for them. They have nowhere to go. There's no ore refinery. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, there it is. No GG, but oh, excuse me. It looked like the game is freezing, and I was thinking that some player disconnected, but still. Every spectator, everyone is waiting for the GG, and there's not, but nothing. Nobody is saying something, of course, in with respect to the players. So they're just going to have to wait it out. Will they take out the construction yard with the axe? Yeah, might possibly do it with the additional fire from the submarines. And there it goes, redeployed, and of course made it completely vulnerable to any attack. Really. GG! Now, this game has been exhausting to cast, but this is one of the best games I have ever seen, especially best of 3. And thank you to Yellow, thank you to TaylorSwift for doing this best of 3 and allowing all the spectators to watch, and of course to big thanks to NoobMapMaker for sharing this replay on the forums. I encourage you to, if you do have replays, keep posting them on the forums. I will take the time as much as possible to cast these games, especially games such as this. Really encourage me to do these kind of things. It's fun, and of course it's promotional to the game, and of course we want to see more games played by these power players for OpenRA in the future. Alright, so thank you everybody for watching. This is SoScared. I'll see you later.